It was fun riding shotgun with Charlie, too, in Minneapolis. Don Irvine, share accuracy in media. Don, come on up.
All right, it's always good to be back here with everybody here at the GRPC. So just as a brief start here, so I work for a media organization, Accuracy in Media, which started by my father 50 years ago this month. Little did we know back then that we were going to spend 50 years fighting fake news. It wasn't coined back then, but we certainly have been fighting that. And there's been plenty of fake news, particularly recently, on the gun movement, right? On gun rights and what's going on around the country here. We're seeing a lot of bad things going on. There's a lot of great ways to use new media, social media, in terms of doing this. What Charlie is doing is one aspect of that. Plus, besides doing the videos, he also has the podcast, just like Paul does. And these are things that are worth supporting. When Jeff Knox was talking earlier about, giving a few bucks to things, my thought really is that you're not just supporting it, you're in making an investment in the movement with these people. They need it. I don't think that Charlie or Paul or others will say that they're in it for the money, right? Right? Anybody who's familiar with this knows that that's not the driving force of this. It is the cause. It's the passion we have for Second Amendment rights. And we see what's going on in today's world, and we want to stop this. We want to combat this. Charlie's right, too. Use video. Video is maybe one of the premier platforms. I love podcasts. I listen to podcasts. I listen to their podcasts while I'm at the gym or in the car traveling, whatever. That's a great way. That's one way of doing things. It's very easy to do a podcast nowadays, so technology continues to make things cheap. Most of us, I've seen a few flip phones around here, but most of us have got a smartphone. And you can do that. Just like you can make videos, you can also create a podcast. There's an app called Anchor. And you can do this. You just download that app and you can create a podcast. The great thing about that too is that all this stuff about getting it on Google Play or Apple Podcasts, you can actually do those submissions through Anchor. Anchor is owned by Spotify, the big music streaming service. So there's a lot of power, there's a lot of money behind that, and you can have that done. So it's very easy to do. You don't have to be, anything fancy. And a podcast, the nice thing is that you can have the face for a podcast, right? You don't have to broadcast yourself in that way, right? It's just your voice and your thoughts and your passion that are going out there. But I also think that, we can't ignore Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter /Periscope. Also very powerful ways of using video. These platforms continue to grow. They're not growing necessarily as fast as they used to, but they are continuing to grow, and they provide a very easy platform for you to do things. Once again, you really only need a smartphone and maybe a microphone and some, very little equipment, very small investment to get going. But you need to be passionate. As Charlie was saying, show everybody who you are. I mean, we're real people. I think, you can get engaged on Twitter, not just by video, but you can get engaged in conversations with people on the other side. But, we need to show them that we're not only real people and just ordinary people, but we're thoughtful, we're passionate, and we have the facts. And don't get into this thing where you start going down a rabbit hole where you're going to get into an argument where you start ratcheting this thing up, because that's exactly what they want you to do. They want to elevate that. They want to be able to go back and say, see that gun right person? That person's a nutcase. Do you just see what they just said to me? You can use social media very, very effectively, but and your passion, but sometimes you may have to bridle your passion a little bit. Social media, while as good as it is, it also is a chance where you see a lot of stuff going out, where people they put things out, but they put things out before they really think about it. Before you tweet, write out, go ahead and write out your tweet, but then think about it before you go ahead and say you're going to send it, because that's the kind of thing. But anyway, there's so many fashions, so many different aspects of social media we have at our disposal. Use them all, use them well.